We hear a lot about housing in our area becoming unaffordable. What does that mean? In Richmond, for example, 5 years ago, the home price index for a single-family home was 1.5 million. Today, it is 2.1 million. That is a 35% increase, which means that if we could afford a particular home in Richmond in November 2019, for example, our income would need to increase 6.1% compounded annually to be able to afford that same home in November 2024. In short, if our income isn't increasing, then homes are becoming unaffordable. Makes sense. The BC government believes that the reason for this dramatic increase is the lack of housing supply, and one of the stumbling blocks is the lack of land. So let's change the zoning, they believe, to allow more units to be built on a lot. So instead of one house per lot, let's pump it up to 6 or even 8, depending on the size and location. So as a realtor, and maybe you're thinking the same way too, I have a few questions. Number one, what are some considerations before upgrading our homes to, shall we call them small-scale housing unit buildings, or multiplexes as they're known in Vancouver? And number two, how does this all affect our property prices? So, for question one, I turned to my friend Eric of Victor Eric Design Build, and Eric and his team have been in this space since the early days, so I'm more than confident that he can shed some light on this topic. Here is a summary of what I learned together with some of my own ideas. Eric has been very generous with his time, so thank you very much, Eric. Over many sessions, this is what I learned. Although Bill 44, which is the legislation governing small-scale multi-unit housing construction, applies to all cities in British Columbia, each city has some flexibility in applying the legislation to meet their own official community plans. This means that each city has the ability to say what can be built on the lot and how much it would cost to get all the necessary permits. This ultimately translates to different returns. So this is where the road forks. Are you a developer, or are you a homeowner simply looking to make some improvements on your property? If you're a developer, you may look at the numbers and say, yeah, you know what, this doesn't make sense. I can get better returns in a different city. But if you're a homeowner, the return on investment may not be the only consideration. It may make sense to the homeowner because they like the area, and the purpose of the improvement is to build a bigger home so that their parents can live in the one unit, their children in another, and eventually these units can be sold off separately at a later time, and the proceeds can be used towards their retirement maybe. So different strokes for different folks. Oh, and one more thing. If you have a 3,000 square foot lot and you want to build 3 units, these units are going to be kind of tiny and your family ain't going to be happy. So make sure you speak to someone like myself to find the right lot for your purpose, and someone like Eric to optimize the space planning. A little bit of self-indulgence. To my second question, how does it impact property prices? We may think that because we can build more units on a lot, the value of the lots automatically increase. Theoretically, this makes sense, but in practice, I think it takes a little bit of time, or at least this is what I think. Here's why. Because this is such a new development in the housing market, there are not that many of these types of homes for us realtors to show to our clients. In Richmond, for example, the building permits approvals team recently told me, although they've received a couple dozen permit applications, none of them have been approved yet, because even they are on a learning curve. So if buyers don't see, they don't buy, and if they don't buy, developers won't know if it's going to be profitable to build or not. In short, unless it can be demonstrated that there are profits to be made, we cannot know for sure if these types of developments increase property values or not. My gut feeling is that if these units are well designed and come in at a decent price, there's no reason why it wouldn't be a hit, leading to increases in property values. As I said, it takes time before something reaches a tipping point. So that's it for the current state of small-scale multi-unit housing, aka multiplexes. If you found value in this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks very much to everyone that has recently subscribed. I look forward to sharing more information with you in my next video. Bye for now.